Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a multiple character special when he asks you out. There will only be 6 characters, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Izuku Midoriya. When you see your phone ringing, you immediately smile and answer it, because Izuku was the one calling you. Since it was a Saturday, you figured that he wanted to spend the day with you. Hey Zuko, you smiled. You weren't doing much today besides trying to improve your quirk. With that being said, you were trying to create a force field around items other than yourself. Listener, may I ask you something, if that's okay? He stuttered. You furrowed your brows, and you had an unsure expression, due to the fact that his nervousness, of course. Yeah, what's up? Before Izuku could speak, you hear his mother cheering in the background about something. Unfortunately, the call ended right then and there. You didn't call back, but 10 minutes later, during your lounging around, you received a message from Izuku. Not only was it an apology message about his mother overreacting, but it was also a text that caused you to smile and become a flustered mess. Instead of replying, you called him back. Izuku, I'd love to go out with you, you said cheerfully. Oh, that's great, I'm so happy you said yes, he whispered. I would have asked you in person, I should have, but you just make me so nervous and happy. Again, before he could reply, his mother cheered about him asking you out, and she ended up saying that too early last time he called. Katsuki Bakugo. Hey you! You stopped and turned around, only to see Katsuki heading towards you. It was after school, and the sun was about to set in an hour or two, so you were beyond confused about why Katsuki was following you. Do you got a minute? He asked. You nodded and kept a straight posture, but you could tell that something was up with him. Yeah, why? Katsuki sighed and rubbed the back of his neck. He looked away and he handed a folded piece of paper. Just open it. Don't ask why either, Katsuki said strictly. You did so after taking it. However, you ended up blushing deeply and even looked at Katsuki with a shocked expression. It was a letter asking you out. Look, idiot, he mumbled. I don't know what you did to me, but I can't stop looking at you or thinking about you. As his voice trailed off, you ended up smiling and slipping out a flustered laugh. What's so funny? Look, just never shut up. I'd love to go out with you, you said. When you gave him a smile and kept a note, Katsuki slightly clenched his teeth and hunched his posture. Seriously? I mean, yeah, okay, why wouldn't you? Katsuki sighed. After rolling your eyes, you nudged his shoulders with yours. Well, walk me home then. Sure. Not because I plan to or anything. Again, you rolled your eyes, but still smiled, for you saw Katsuki smirk when looking towards the side. Shoto Todoroki. Oh, good, Shoto whispered. You came, I didn't think you would. It was after school, and that was the time that Shoto wanted to meet up with you in the backyard of the campus. You placed down your book bag and sat next to Shoto, who was looking at you rather calmly than normal. Since you two weren't in the same class, you didn't see him much besides competition exams. Why wouldn't I? Did I have a dark cloud over my head? You whispered in a laugh. Shoto scoffed a bit and then looked towards you. The both of you were the remaining students on campus now, and the thought of that was making you quite nervous. As Shoto gathered his thoughts, you focused on the bright sun above the two of you. After creating a cloud with your palms, you tossed it into the air and made it become a shield to block out the rays. Listener, there's something I don't know, but it's drawn me to you, he whispered. You call yourself a storm from time to time, but you're a perfect one at that. You immediately became a bit flustered when Shoto took both of your hands in his and held them. He gave you a stare, then looked off to the side when sighing. You don't have to accept my request, but I do want to become more than just friends with you, he whispered. You smiled and nodded after Shoto looked back to you. That's when you stood up and pulled him off his feet. You then hugged him and scoffed a bit too. Of course, Shoto, he said. He blushed a little bit, then pulled away and took one of your hands in his again. That makes me happy. Let me walk you home, he whispered. Tamaki Amajiki. You tilted your head to straighten up in your seat when Tamaki started to back away. He had recently approached you after you gave him a big smile, and even waved to him when noticing him. You were at the park, sitting alone at a picnic table. After school, you used your quirk to come here instead of going straight home. However, Tamaki was there before you, and with another, who was also near still. When Tamaki looked back at Mirio, who started quietly cheering him on, he swallowed heavily. I'm gonna be sick, this is too much for me. After hearing that, you nearly stood up, but Tamaki sat across from you and placed his head on the table. Tama, you're just so unique in every way, and I was wondering if you'd want to go out with me. A blush took over your face, and it did so on his when he looked up at you. As you two had a stare down, he then broke it and started to scoot off the bench. He quickly got up and started to walk away, but you grabbed his wrist and tugged him back when you caught up with him. Tamaki, I'd love to. You smiled. When he looked down at you, he started to smile a bit too, but it faded as he looked to the side. Really? I think your shyness is cute. When seeing you hold his hand, he smiled and started to rub the back of his neck. Thanks. Tenki Kaminari. Hey listener, wait up. You stopped walking and turned around, giving Tenki a large grin. Hey, I haven't seen you all day, you shouted. What you said was true, even though you and Tenki were both in Class 1A. With that being said, you furrowed your brows and slightly glared at him. Where have you been? Tenki chuckled and gave his shoulders a shrug when he approached you. His hands were shoved into his pockets, and he still had on a school backpack as well. I was taking a written exam all day. Tenki laughed. To that, you rolled your eyes and sighed, but then punched him in the arm, which you had been doing a lot recently. You could have told me. I spammed you, you mumbled. How? And, well, I wanted to tell you something else, though, Tenki mumbled back. Both of you ended up stopping when he did, and you gave him a look of curiosity as he became a blushing mess. I'm a cool guy, and you're a cute person. We can work something out, right? You know, be like a power couple or something like that. Your expression went from stern to shocked to flustered in a matter of seconds, but he started to smirk a bit towards him. Are you asking me out, Tenki? He looked down and rubbed the back of his neck, then at you with a nod. What would you say? I think I'd say yes. After your response, Tenki laughed out of relief and took your hand, pulling you with him before walking as his fingers interlocked with yours. Mirio. Okay, I got this, he breathed. Their house is right here. All I have to do is walk up to it, knock on the door, and claim how much I truly care. Mirio? After Mirio gasped and jolted away from you, you took a step back and held a paper grocery bag closer to you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sneak up on you like that, you mumbled from behind the bag. Since you lived with a single relative, you mainly went out and did all the grocery shopping every Friday after UA. While on your way back home, you approached Mirio, who was beyond hesitating on crossing the empty street that was in front of your house. He had walked to your home so many times, so it wasn't a surprise that he knew where you lived. Mirio laughed awkwardly, and then scratched at the back of his head. I'm surprised I didn't faint and ghost out of my body. He chuckled. He relaxed and laughed a bit, but then rolled your eyes. Before you could question him, you ended up getting interrupted with a gasp when Mirio took your hand and pressed it against his chest. You feel that? You make my heart race out of excitement, and I still have a lot to learn about relationships, but I was wondering if we could learn together. I want you to be mine, and more than a friend. Mirio mumbled quickly. After you blushed, you looked up at him with a smile and a quick nod. That's great. Let me take these groceries from you, my ray of sunshine. Mirio laughed and grinned a blushing mess. You stared back at him, due to the nickname. Alright, so that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. If you're in the live chat, say thank you to the moderators. They're here. They do their job pretty much every day. Either way, this is a little kind of, not teaser for the 20k special, but I will be doing a multiple character special whenever I hit 20k. So yeah, pretty exciting. I don't have too much to say, so that concludes this video. Music link, fanfic link, Discord link, Amazon wishlist link, and thumbnail art link are all in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!